Fuck's sakes. Can't a guy have his way for once when it comes to styling the hair the way he wants? Jesus Christ. The one time that I want to style my hair in a mohawk like Sheamus from WWE, it comes out looking like a fucking doofus. God damn it. You know what? That's what happens when you put too much goddamn product in your hair. And are you fucking recording me? No, I didn't tell you to fucking record. I didn't tell you to record. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you to record me, bitch! What the fuck are you thinking right now? You know better than to record me when I'm fucking flipping out! Oh, yeah, go ahead and laugh. Look at this shit. I look like fucking alfalfa. Or some sort of... I'm so mad right now, but you wanna know something? I'm gonna turn this into a positive. Because, speaking of Sheamus, and speaking of the League of Nations, this is going to be a team building video that is titled League of Balance! So with that being said, hope you enjoy! Woo! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, Mega Crasher is back, and it is time to get into the meat and the potatoes of this team building video. So the first member of the team that we got is going to be none other than the Green Machine, Kyurem-Black. And Kyurem-Black, my god, does this thing ever scare the shit out of any Pokemon that relies heavily on stall, because this thing is a huge wall breaker. So let's see. The item of choice is going to be Life Orb, which allows a 30% boost in the power of the moves. However, you lose 10% of your health. But this thing doesn't give a shit, because this thing is meant to blow back any frail glass cannons. Its ability is going to be Terra Volt, and Terra Volt works like Mold Breaker, where it doesn't give a shit what kind of abilities you have. Any sturdies, any levitates, it doesn't give a damn. It's going to use its moves regardless. That means that you can send in your levitating washing machines. It's still going to blow that shit up with Earth Power. And speaking of which, let's get into the moves! The first move we got is going to be Ice Beam. Ice Beam is going to be Stab, 90% power. Oh man, this thing is so brutally good. Up next, we got Fusion Bolt. Fusion Bolt adds that really nice Bolt Beam combo, in which is only resisted by a few Pokemon. And Fusion Bolt takes care of any Azumaros, any bulky water types that you try to switch in on this thing. Up next, we got Earth Power. Earth Power is something that is pretty much a god's gift to Kyurem-Black, because this thing, although it doesn't learn Earthquake, which is unfortunate, here's the thing. Earth Power is just as good because it hits for special damage. And what's even better about this is that this allows for it to be a mixed wall breaker. I mean, goddamn, this thing is so good. You got Ice type coverage, Electric type coverage, Ground type coverage. What could possibly be more frightening than a Pokemon with amazing type coverage? It doesn't matter what you switch into. It ignores Levitates. It ignores any sturdies. It's going to one-shot you. It's going to take care of you, regardless of your levitating washing machine that tries to troll me by burning me. I don't give a shit. And then lastly, we got Iron Head. Iron Head. Oh, I see. Fairy types greatly hinder Dragon-type Pokemon, which, you know what? That's fine. But these little pixies, they gotta run in fear with Iron Head Kyurem-Black on the horizon. Because that means that any Clefables, any Sylveons, any Mega Altarias, although Mega Altaria gets taken care of with Ice Beam, shit their pants because of Iron Head. It's base 80 power, it's Steel type, 30% chance to flinch, Earth Power, 90% power, with a 10% to lower the target's special defense by one stage. Fusion Pulse, 100 base power, has no added effects, but still goddamn powerful. Ice Beam, 90% power, with a 10% chance to freeze. Yeah, I say that this thing has quite a bit going for it. On top of its amazing coverage, it has some really unique chances of inflicting some very unique sort of hacks in the game. And let's get on to the stats, baby! So the stats you got right here, we got a Mild Nature to lower the defense and increase that delicious base 120 special attack. We have 4 attack, we have 252 special attack, and 252 speed. That means that this thing is just going to be an all-out murderer. And you factor in the damage boost from Life Orb. Those 370 some odd stats right there that you see, suddenly get boosted up to a ridiculous level. That is insane and a half. And speaking of insane and a half, it is time to move on to the next teammate, and that's going to be Dennis, the Scizor Mega. And Scizor Mega, oh man, this thing is so good. This thing is one of the best outright check/counters to the Lotties, unless of course they carry Hidden Power 5. But you can easily switch in on a Draco Meteor, and you'd be okay, even with Hidden Power Fire, because get this, we're specially defensive, baby, but we're going to get into that shortly. So, its item of choice is going to be its Mega Stone, the Scizorite, so that way it can Mega Evolve. Because without its Mega Stone, how do you expect it to Mega Evolve? The next thing is going to be its ability is going to be Light Metal. That way, if you're switching into a Pokemon that predicts your switch in and happen to has Low Kick, well guess what? You take half damage because Light Metal halves your weight and Low Kick damages you based on your weight. So Light Metal is definitely good. And upon Mega Evolving, you get Technician back. So it's all good, bro. It's all good. And speaking of Technician, we got Bullet Punch as its first move. It's base 40 power, it's priority, it's steel type, it's physical, it's awesome. Because the Technician, it gets boosted up to base 60 power. Yeah, that is awesome. And up next, we got U-Turn. And U-Turn, this is going to be a slow U-Turner of the team. And this allows for me to take hits and be able to U-turn something in safely to be able to threaten that out and get the advantage in the battle. Up next, we got Roost to be able to restore its HP to its maximum by 50%. So say if you're tanking up those hits, like a bodybuilder, and then all of a sudden, you feel a little bit tired, you feel a little bit exhausted. You're like, oh, well, I need to rest my body, so I'm just gonna flappy on the ground and be like, Roost, bitch, Roost. And then 50% of my maximum health has been restored, and guess what? I'm back to tanking up hits all day, every day. And lastly, we have Defog. So say if your opponents want to hazard stack you so fucking bad, they're so sick and tired of seeing the League of Balance. They're so sick and tired of being beaten. They're so sick and tired of everything. So they're trying to phase you. They're trying to stack you with hazards. Well, guess what? Defog blows all that shit away. So that means any hazard stack strategy, as long as Scizor is alive and well, it ain't gonna work, bitch. And then, lastly, we got the stats of stats of stats. Look at this. We got a Careful Nature to lower that special attack and increase that special defense. We got 248 EVs into the HP, 8 into defense, and 252 into the special defense. And notice the 20 speed IVs. That right there allows for me to be slower than other base 75 speed Pokemon that don't have any investment, and that right there, my friends, is going to be what is going to be key, because I can sit in there, take a hit, and then boom, I can U-turn the fuck out and switch into something to threaten that Pokemon out. And speaking of threatening, it is time to get into the third Pokemon of the team. And it's going to be Raymond 94, the Keldeo Resolute. And this thing right here is so good as a revenge killer. Holy shit. This thing, despite it having a really bad ability known as Justified, which does nothing for the special sets, the thing is still powerful. Good God. So we got Choice Scarf to lock it into one move, but boost that speed by 50%. And the thing of it is that with base 108 speed and a Timid Nature, this thing's gonna get a lot of crazy outspeeds. Do you know what that means? That means that any +1 Dragon Dancers, anything that tries to stack its speed up against you, guess what? You're gonna be faster by default, and you're gonna be able to knock it right the fuck out. It's that simple. So the ability I'm talking about is going to be Justified, and if you're hit with a Dark type move, it boosts your attack stat up by 1 stage. But you see right here, base 72 attack is not that good. It's really not that good. Trust me. Yeah, the thing does get Sword Dance, it does get Close Combat, does get Aqua Jet, all that good stuff. But its special attack is just so much better, for God's sakes. And speaking of special attacks, let's get on with the attacks! So we got Hydro Pump for insane stab for water types. This thing, base 110 power with an 80% accuracy. Yes, the thing can fucking miss sometimes, but when it hits, it hurts. Up next, we got Secret Sword. Secret Sword is a base 85 special type fighting move that hits the target's physical defense. That means that this thing becomes a pseudo mixed attacker. This thing is so good. It's so good. And up next, we got got Scald. So if you're afraid of missing your Hydro Pumps, guess what? Scald is base 80 power, 100% accuracy, with a 30% chance to burn! That means that you could essentially switch in, use Scald, and cripple an attacker just like that. And coming up next, we have Hidden Power Electric. And Hidden Power Electric, oh baby, is such a nice little surprise for any Gyarados. Because Gyarados otherwise would wall the shit out of Keldeo. So you switch in a Gyarados, it's like, I'm gonna fucking eat you. I'll just DD up. But little does it know, not only do you have a Choice Scarf to outspeed it, even if it's up by +1, but Hidden Power Electric, boom! Lay the smack down, bitch! You have been taken out. And it's time now for the stats. So this right here, nothing fancy, nothing too complicated to understand. We got a Timid Nature, which allows for me to be even more fast, and this thing happens to be just an ungodly special attacker. Look at this shit. Force defense EVs, 252 special attack EVs, 252 speed EVs. This thing is powerful! Okay, this ain't time for John Cena right now, baby. It's about the League of the Balance. And coming up next, we have Ruckus, aka Landorus Therian, and this thing is such an amazing blanket check to physical attackers. You have absolutely no idea how dependable this thing is. Or maybe you do, depending on how experienced you are. This thing is so awesome. So, the item of choice is going to be Rocky Helmet. And Rocky Helmet, my friend, is so good because this thing pretty much just baits you into physically attacking him. So, any Talonflames, any Mega Charizard X's, it's like, yeah, guess what? I'm floating around. What are you gonna do, son? I'm scary. I just intimidated your ass. Oh, you're gonna boost up? Guess what? Oh, you're gonna attack me. Guess what? I just took away some health from you because you just attacked me, because Rocky Helmet takes away 1/6 of your health. And what's even better about this is that I can attack you thereafter. The ability is going to be Intimidate, which lowers the opponent's attack stat by 1 stage, making this thing just even more threatening as a bulky Pokemon, a bulky pivot. The first move that we got is going to be Earthquake, and this pretty much shits on any rock, steel, or fire type Pokemon. That means that Mega Charizard X, the thing can set up all at once. But as long as you're in the field, as long as it's not too set up against you, because if you happen to let a Mega Charizard X set up against you when you could have done something about that's your damn fault. But the thing of it is even at +1, okay? Even at +1, it's not going to be able to take you out. And with Rocky Helmet, it's going to give you some extra chip damage, and you can possibly take it out with Earthquake. Even without any investment, the thing is so damn powerful. Up next, we got Stone Edge, so that means any Talonflames, any Volcaronas, any Mega Charizard Ys that wants to try and test your luck. Guess what? Stone Edge, clips those waves. And thanks to them being 4 times weak to Stone Edge, that's it. That's another reason why this thing is such a good blanket check/counter to the bird type spam like Talonflame and Pinsir. And up next, we have U-Turn, and that again is what makes this thing just so good as a pivot. The thing can take damage, and if it's physical, chip away thanks to Rocky Helmet. And because of U-Turn, because of the slow ability to pivot out and be able to switch in a threat to threaten the other Pokemon out, oh man, that's so good. And lastly, we have Stealth Rocks. They are the only hazards on the team, but that's all the hazards we need, bro! That is all the hazards we need, because this thing will damage Pokemon according to type. So that means if it's resisted, it's not going to do that much damage. The point is because of Stealth Rocks, because of the fact that it breaks things like Sturdy and Focus Sash, it is so good. You want to know something else that's so good? It's its EV spread. It's going to be an Impish Nature to increase that physical defense and lower that special attack. So we got 248 EVs into its HP, 252 into its defense, and 8 into special defense. And you notice that Speed IV says 29. That means that you will be able to outpace any uninvested base 90 Pokemon, and you'd be able to outpace other Landoruses, wait, I completely messed that up. Let me try this again. You will actually be able to potentially be slower than any base 90 Pokemon that doesn't have any investment in their speed, or you could be slower than other Landoruses that run the exact same sort of set, and you're going to be able to tank hits easily, and then you can U-turn out and switch something in to threaten that thing the fuck out. And then up next, we got the Green Machine 2! Oh my god, this thing is so powerful. I mean, look at this shit. Okay, first up, we got Life Orb to increase its damage output by 30% at the cost of 10% of the health. Up next, we got Levitate to give it an immunity to ground-type attacks. We got Draco Meteor as its really powerful base 130 Dragon-type stab. Of course, it lowers your special attack by 2 stages, but who cares? The thing is so powerful. And up next, we got Psyshock, which hits the target's physical defense for damage. That means that this thing also becomes a pseudo-mixed attacker. And then, up next, we have Recover to allow for it to restore 50% of its maximum health. And then lastly, we got Calm Mind. This right here, oh man. When I tested out this Latios on Matty Brawlup's Bunny Spam with hazards, holy shit, this thing is so good. You set up a couple of Calm Minds, and that Draco Meteor is going to hit like a truck. It boosts the special attack and special defense up by 1 stage. Now it's time for the EV spread. We have a Timid Nature to give it as much speed as possible and lower that attack. We got 252 EVs into the special attack, 252 into the speed, and 4 into special defense. Nothing more to say about it. It's time to move on to, last but not least, Drive Slow. And this thing also forms a very unique Volt Turn core with the likes of Dennis and Ruckus. So let's see what we got going on here. We got Leftovers as it's going to be the item of choice to allow for it to have a little bit of passive recovery at the end of each turn. Up next, we got Pressure, and Pressure is, oh my god, this ability is so good. Like, people don't even realize how good Pressure is, okay? It doubles the consumption of your opponent's power points. That means that this thing is essentially a secret, kind of like a stall breaker almost. Now, don't misunderstand me, okay? Don't misunderstand me. Don't use Zapdos as a dedicated stall breaker, because this thing is meant to be a tank. But I'm just saying, is that any Pokemon that wants to try and spam any recovers, any moves on you, and you can take them with ease, guess what? You can just pressure stall their power points out to the point where they got nothing left. So that's pretty awesome. The first move that we got is going to be Volt Switch, and Volt Switch is a very awesome move, as it is pretty much an Electro-type special U-turn. You attack, you switch the fuck out. And then up next, we got Heat Wave, and Heat Wave, this right here is a really, really good move, because this will take care of any Ferrothorns, any Scizors, any Mega Scizors, or any Steel-type Pokemon that would otherwise give you a hard time. Up next, we got Roost, and Roost is such a good move, because this thing heals its HP by half of its health, so 50% of its health is just like that, right back. And then lastly, we got Toxic, and Toxic, oh my god, you have absolutely no idea how good Toxic is on Zapdos, because that means that any Landorus switch-ins, that means any Garchomp switch-ins. It's like if you can predict those switch-ins, guess what? You hit them with a Toxic, and then guess what? They are tick, 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 tick. They're on a timer, bitch! And then it's time now for the EV spread. We have a Calm Nature going. That means that this thing is going to be taking special attacks even more. We have 248 EVs into its special attack, 244 into its special defense, and 16 into its speed, allowing for you to speed creep and outpace any adamant base 70 speed Pokemon that's fully invested. And I said special attack. I meant to say HP. Yes, HP, right there. So 248 EVs into its HP, give it a nice odd HP number so that way it'll have more Stealth Rock switch-ins. My friends, that's all I gotta say about this team. But it's not over yet, so please stay tuned because I happen to have 2 battles to demonstrate the effectiveness of this team. So stay tuned! Woo! Alright, ladies and gents, are you guys ready for 2 amazing battles? Now, these are battles I had just a little while ago to test out these teams, and these weren't just any ordinary opponents, oh hell to the no. These 2 opponents happen to be 2 very good friends of mine, and they're both quite skilled too. So, you guys are going to be in for 2 amazing as hell battles. So with that being said, lock and load, Betty, strap yourselves in, and let's get to it! Woo! So I lead off with Scizor, and she leads off with the Rotom Wash. Now, fearing the burn, I switch the fuck out, and I go into the Green Machine, the Latios. But instead, she Volt switches out, and I'm thinking, okay, who's she gonna switch into? Who's she gonna switch into? and it happens to be Scissor. I'm thinking, oh shit, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I go right into my Lander Syrian and get that Intimidate up, and that U-turn doesn't do too much damage. But guess what? Rocky Helmet, hope you guys enjoy that. Now, in comes Rotom Wash. Now, I was thinking that I was going to be able to outspeed it because Rotom are usually bulky and run no speed, but she outspeeds me and Go-Coasts me with the fucking Hydro Pump. I'm thinking, oh no! So I'm thinking I gotta bring in my Kyurem-Black, and that Earth Power is going to do a lot of damage, but doesn't quite take it out. And I'm thinking, okay, what's going to happen next? Volt Switch, so that's not going to do too much damage. So she switches out, and she goes into the Latias. I'm thinking, okay, I gotta switch the fuck out right now. And I go into my Mega Scizor, and that Draco Meteor, I eat that right the fuck up. It doesn't do that much, but guess what? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Yeah, she switches out, and goes into the Kyurem-Black, but guess what? Look at this. I Mega Evolve, and I go for the U-turn, and it's gonna do quite a little bit of damage there. So I switch out, and I go into Raymond, aka the Keldeo. So she switches out, and what's she going to? She goes into the Scizor, and that Secret Sword's gonna do so much damage. And that Bullet Punch, though, that's gotta be Choice Banded. But man, that Secret Sword is gonna take out the Scizor. So now it's 5-5. Now it's income the Latios, so I switch out, and I bring in my Mega Scizor again, and guess what? That Psy Shock, I'm just eating that right the fuck up. And yes, Life Orb's ticking away at your life, so she switches out and goes back into the Rotom Wash. So I heal up with Roost. I'm thinking, okay, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next, baby? Come on, come on, come on. So I switch out, Fear and the Burn, and I go into my Zapdos. And yeah, I get the burn, but you wanna know something? This thing is specially defensive. It doesn't give a shit about that. It doesn't give a shit about your shitty attacks. So she switches out, and she goes into the Landers, but guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I catch you with the Toxic! Woo! Oh shit, here we go, baby. Oh man. That right there is another reason why I love Zapdos, and this is really good as a lure for the bulky Lander switch-ins. So I switch my Mega Scizor back in and take that Stone Edge so easily. So easy. So now what does the Landers do? Switches out, and goes into the Rotom Wash, and I go for the Roost just to heal up, and I'm thinking, okay, now it's gonna happen. Now it's gonna happen, baby. What's gonna happen? So I switch out, and I go back into my Zapdos. And that Will-O-Wisp, again, holy shit, but I'm already burned though, so that was a really good play right there. And, oh man, this is so good. So I go for Roost, and this is what happens. Thunderbolt, it doesn't do really anything, but that burn though is going to be whittling me down a little bit. So now what is going to happen? It is Rotom Wash versus the Zapdos. So I go for Toxic. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I thought that she was possibly going to switch out. But anyways, that Volt Switch though is not going to do too much damage. And in comes the Diancie. I'm thinking, oh shit, son, here we go, son. I don't know what to do, son, so I switch out. And I go into the Mega Scizor. And she Mega Evolves. And that Diamond Storm, though, is going to do a lot of damage. That does almost half, and she got the defense boost. But she switches out. And goes into the Kyurem-Black. And this is what happens. Blah! That Bullet Punch, baby. Holy shit, that's going to do some damage. And Bullet Punch again is going to take you out. So now a big threat down. And in comes the Latias. Something a Draco Meteor. I just eat that shit right the fuck up, son. I eat it up. And this is what happens. I go for the Roost. Baby. I go for that Roost. And this is what's going to happen. So she's going to switch out and goes back into the Landos. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen next? So I U-turn out just to get a little bit of damage off. And I switch into Raymond, my Scarf Keldeo. And this is what happens next. Can we possibly see it? Can we see a Scald taking out the Landorus, son? Woo! Oh, shit. Now what's going to happen? Now we got Diancie coming in. What's going to happen next? Scald is going to take out the Diancie, and I'm not sure if that crit mattered. It probably didn't, but holy shit, that was so good. And in comes the Rotom Wash. I'm thinking, okay, Scald, I don't need Keldeo anymore. So I'm thinking, okay, I can sack it off, and that Thunderbolt is going to take me out, which that's fine, bro. That's completely fine by me. And this is what happened next. I bring in my Green Machine, and I start setting up, man. Things are getting intense. So now we got Volt Switch coming in. We got that Volt Switch. And she switches out into the Latias. Now this is what happens next. I drop a Draco on you, and you get taken right the fuck down. And now it has come down to Latias, or I should say the Latios, and the Rotom Wash. And that Draco Meteor is going to seal the fucking victory. And that right there is going to be a very epic 28-turn battle, which leaves me the 4-0 victory. Holy shit, that was so good. Oh man, I was so excited. But my friends, we gotta move on to battle number 2. And this is gonna be battle number 2 right here and now. And it's going to be against Ghoul Ruler, aka Josh. And if you guys are familiar with Guru, you would know that he is the holder and the possessor of the amazing Mono Fairy type team in Doubles OU. But this ain't Doubles, son. Oh, no. You are venturing into the realm of the OU tier, the singles tier. Let's see how you do. This team did present me quite the scary challenge. I'm thinking, oh man, I gotta be on my feet for this. So with that being said, my friends, let's get into it! Woo! Battle number 2, baby, lock and load. So I lead with my Ruckus the Landers, and he leads with the Scissor. I'm thinking, okay, good matchup, buddy, nice and healthy. So I get them rocks up, and what's gonna happen next? So he U-turns out. That's cool, bro. I hope you enjoy that chip damage from Rocky Helmet. And now what's gonna happen next? In comes the Latios, or the Latios, I should say. So now what's gonna happen next? What is going to happen? So I have to switch out. I gotta switch out, and I go into my Scizor. And she starts setting up the combos, and oh shit, what's gonna happen? Oh my god, I was a little bit scared here. But luckily he switches out and goes back, or I should say goes into Garchomp for the first time. But I Mega Evolve, and I go for the U-turn, and with the crit, that's going to do some damage. And that Rocky Helmet and the Rough Skin is going to take its effect on me. Damn it! So in comes my Keldeo, and what's going to happen? I go for the Hydro Pump. I thought he was going to be knocked out, but he survives with 9% HP, enough to get the Stealth Rocks up. But that Hydro Pump is going to hit him and take him out. So now what is going to happen next? In comes the Latias. I'm thinking, okay, son, I got to switch the fuck out. I got to switch out. And I go back into my Mega Scizor, son. And what's going to happen next? So he sets up the Calm Mind. So I'm thinking, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? Oh, man, I was afraid. So he ends up switching out and goes into the Klefki, the Chingle motherfucker. So in comes the Roost. I'm thinking, okay, what's gonna happen next? I gotta get these Stealth Rocks fucking out of here, man. I gotta get him out of here. But he Thunder Waves and paralyzes me. I'm thinking, alright, son. Alright, I see what you're trying to do. So I go for Defog, get rid of both our hazards, and I switch out, and I go into my Zapdos, knowing that he's now gonna start setting up those goddamn spikes. Damn it! So now what's gonna happen? So he switches out, and he goes into the Zygarde. I'm thinking, alright, son, what's gonna happen next, son? What's gonna happen? That Heat Wave, not gonna do anything. But get this. Get this, you ready? Bet you didn't see this coming, son. Bet you didn't see it. Yeah, you got the Coil going on, which boosts 3 of your stats by 1 stage. But that Toxic, though, is going to wear you the fuck out. So now what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? Oh, man, I'm excited. Oh, man, I'm in a fighting mode. So in comes now the Landorus. And that lowers the attack stat by 1 stage. And he gets a crit on a Stone Edge. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Alright, but it didn't even do that much damage. So now he goes for Coil again. He starts setting up those coils. Starts setting them up, baby. And I go for the Stealth Rocks just to get mine back up again. And this is what happens. That toxic damage is racking up quickly. That Stone Edge with another crit. Are you kidding me? Damn, he's lucky. But that Earthquake is not going to do that much damage. So I'm thinking, okay, what do I got to do at this point, man? What do I got to do to beat you? And that Stone Edge, though, he hangs out with 2% HP. So I go for the U-turn thinking, fuck this shit. I want none of you, Zygarde. So I switch out, and I go into Raymond the Keldeo. I'm thinking, alright, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? Is he possibly going to stay in? But guess what? He switches out. He switches out and goes into the Latias. I'm thinking, alright, what's going to happen? So I go for Scald, praying for a burn, but nothing happened. So now I'm thinking, okay, what the hell's going to happen? So I got to switch out. and I go into my Mega Scizor, son. And this is what's going to happen. So he goes for the Healing Wish. What the fuck? I didn't expect Healing Wish, and now we got Zygardes all healed up again. What the fuck, dude? Oh man, this isn't good. So he starts coiling up again. He starts coiling the fuck up. So I go for the U-turn. I'm thinking, okay, who I gotta switch into? Who I gotta switch into? And I go into the green machine, the Kyurem-Black. And I'm thinking, okay, I gotta outspeed this thing. Here we go. Ice Beam! Woo! Shit, that's cold. That is so cold right now. Man, Zygarde gets taken out, and now we got Klefki coming in. I'm thinking, okay, I don't want this thing paralyzing me. So if this is what happens, I go into Ruckus, and guess what? He goes for the Magnet Rise. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Alright, so now what's going to happen next? So now, I go for the U-turn, just to get a little bit of damage off, and I switch out, and I go back into my Zapdos. So now what's going to happen next? Flash Cannon is not going to do a thing to me, man. I just ate right the fuck up. Like, seriously, get the fuck out. So I go for the Volt Switch, and this is what happens next. You ready? Here we go, son. I go back into Ruckus, and he Flash Cannons me, takes me out, and I'm thinking, alright, well, you know what? I kind of didn't need Ruckus at that point. I still got 5 healthy Mons, so now I go back into the Drive Slow. Are you guys ready? He switches out, and he goes into the regular Scizor, and that Heat Wave catches super effective Heat Wave. Woo! And now what's gonna happen, baby? I'm so fucking excited. I'm so pumped. So he brings in his Charizard. Is that gonna be Mega Charizard Y or X? And it's X! Holy shit! and he goes for Roost. I'm thinking, okay, this ain't good, son, this ain't good. So I full switch right the fuck out. And guess what? Thinking that I have a base 110 speed Dragon-type Pokemon on my team, guess what? Draco Meteor's coming, baby. Woo! You get taken out, son! You get taken the fuck out. So he goes down, and it is just down to Klefki and 5 other Pokemon. What can Klefki do? So I switch out. and I go back into my Zapdos. The ultimate Klefki counter! And he can set up spikes all he wants. It's not going to make a difference, because guess what? Heat Wave is going to take you down, son. It's going to take you down, and that Flash Can, though, is not going to do that much damage. What's going to happen next? Can the next Heat Wave connect? Can the next Heat Wave connect? And it does! And that is going to be the game! Holy fucking shit! What a good game! But in the end, I gotta say that I emerged victorious, but I was afraid. I was afraid that I was gonna get swept by either Zygarde, or get swept by Mega Charizard X. Or possibly Calm Mind swept by the Latias. I mean, Dragon-type Pokemon, even though there's the introduction of Fairy-type Pokemon, are still very threatening. But either way, wow. It was a hell of a battle, hell of a game. Good job, Josh. Good job, Ghoul Ruler. Thank you for the battles, my friend. And that right there is going to wrap up the demonstration and wrap up the entire team building video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then please make sure you fire off a like. Let's see if we can aim for 5 likes. 5 likes, because 1 like, 2 like, 3 like, 4 like, 5-time like. Woo! So thanks for watching, and if you enjoy more content like this, then please be sure to rate, comment, share this video, and subscribe today to Mega Crasher the community. Because you already know the deal by now, my friends. When we're a community, tightly packed and tightly knit as one, you know that we shine brighter than the sun. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next upload!